Hi there, this is Tyler, and I'm here today playing with a group from the Gauntlet, which if you watch me much, I play with the Gauntlet a lot because they're the best folks in the world to play with. If you're looking for some wonderful folks to role play with, you can find the Gauntlet. We have like on Facebook, we're on Twitter. You can find us on G+, or you can find us at gauntlet-rpg.com. I highly recommend it if you enjoy gaming with wonderful, supportive people. We're playing today SWvM versus Moonicorn, and we're doing the quick play. This is a game by Johnstone Metzger, and I love that he made this quick start kind of quick play game of it because it gets a lot of the feel in without it having to be the long campaign setup. In our game, we have SWvM, who is the dominant force in all of the galaxy, reaching his claws out to grab more and more things, while the other extreme, or the other side of our spectrum, we have Moonicorn, who is the agent of freedom and who is out there inspiring the galaxy. Along with them, we have there's a whole slew of particular types of playbooks it can be in, and we have two people that have chosen two of those. We'll be introducing those in just a second. Now, I want to start by saying that we have some safety tools in play, which is, first off, the Gauntlet inclusivity policy, which basically is saying we're all friends. We're all here to support each other. We're all here to make sure we're having a good time. We respect each other. We're generous to each other. And, you know, that we're providing a pleasant place where we're all in it to have a good time together. We also have the X card on the table. For those of you who don't know, if something gets problematic or a little personal, or it's just destroying your fun, you can put this up. You can put an X in chat. Now, I will admit, when I start talking, I don't always look at that chat. So you might want to pop it up there or do something so I notice it. Or you could just say, hey, Tyler, I think I want to X that. What we'll do is I may ask for clarification, but we're going to pull that back and we're going to reframe. There are no questions asked, though, of course, again, we're friends at a table. If something there that you want to get off your chest, you really want to say something, we could take a moment. We could put something in our chat. We have an event page. We could put something there. Again, we're here to support each other. Make sure we're all having a good time. And please feel free to use those. I've used them before. I used them just last week. I had to X something. So it is there for us to have the best time possible. A quick review of what we had last time. We did a lot of world build. So if folks who happen to watch, you got to see all those fronts get developed, and I'm not going to go through them, folks. You should go watch the first episode. I've already spoken with everyone here, so they're aware of what we went on, and, you know, they did it. So they know what happened. We opened with a scene in SWvM's place of power, where we saw that some things were going astray, perhaps, or maybe more close to plan than the Imperial throne thinks, because SWvM didn't seem overly surprised that they were putting taxes on him and declaring some of his business illegal. Then we ended on a planet where someone had come up to Moonicorn and seemed to be giving a reverential, oh, you're here at last sort of thing, and the prophecy is nearly fulfilled. And that is where we had ended. Now, I think I'm going to ask everyone, if they don't mind, to introduce themselves. And we're going to start, as so often we will, with our SWvM. Will you please introduce yourself, give your pronouns, and tell us a little bit about your character, please.
Hello, I'm Gerwin. I'm playing the SWvM in this game. I am playing Prince Director Curzon. In a lot of times, SWvM is a tyrant, someone that leads from the front, that has mass legions of armies. Not so much this time. SWvM is a philosopher, a professor, a member of the royal blood that has seen things wrong in the world and wants to put them right. But the only way he can put them right is to control them. And this is in stark contrast to Moonicorn. So the Prince Director, although it is Prince Director, the pronouns are they, them. So, yeah, that's the Prince Director, basically.
Thank you very much. I'm going to move over to you. Leandro, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your character.
Oh yeah, Leandro here. I'm playing the Thief of Space and Time, a nervous wreck by the name of Frantic Darling. She's she, they pronouns. She used to be part of a prominent bureaucratic family who had control over the spice, which in this game is a particularly rare form of communication crystals. They had a business in that until a certain prince director kind of wrecked things along, toppling that family and kind of forcing Frantic Darling into a life of thievery and kind of into a trade that she's kind of fallen into. She's kind of she's quite neurotic. She's very unsure of herself. She's still kind of new to this, even though it looks like she might be kind of somewhat talented in this line. She has some weird bonds with honestly everyone involved. She just kind of wants to go home. So she's a bit of a mess, hot or otherwise, yet to be determined.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Patrick, would you like to introduce your character, please?
Hi, I'm Patrick. I'm playing the Other, who's a creature from beyond this universe. In this particular case, Spiral is from the hyperspace dimension that ships travel through when they go interstellar and all that nonsense. He is generally, at least what sentient beings choose to perceive him as, is a generally formless sort of masculine shape, so he is fine. They also don't really recognize gender or strange things that are going on in this universe, so they is also good. Anyways, Spiral came into this universe sort of at the confluence of Korra, Moonicorn, giving a great inspiring speech out through the entire galaxy through these weird crystals, at the same time as a random civilization was destroying itself, trying to create a new hyperspace technology, and there in the wreckage of their sun was floating Spiral. And he really just wants to explore and see this universe. He's happy to get the chance to look around. But in particular, there was the voice, Korra's voice, and the familiarity of their message and their spirit that called me across the dimensions and that I'm still searching for. I also have a heart crystal thing that materialized in front of Prince Director Curzon. He has a hold of it, and he has some control over Spiral, or they have some control over Spiral. And let's see, what else do I have? So orders, give me orders. Also, ask me for impossible things, because I can reach through into the hyperspace dimension and try and pull out whatever your heart desires.
Ooh, thank you much. And last but certainly not least, Yoshi, will you introduce your character?
Hello, I'm Yoshi. I am playing the Moonicorn playbook this time. My name is Korra, although that's a shortening of Corazon, which is very similar to Curzon, which I thought we did a good job of. Korra is like what people that know them would call them. They use they, them pronouns. Korra looks like a typical human for the most part. They tend to wear sort of like nondescript, semi-baggy, not form-fitting clothing. They're trying to hide their presence a little bit because they're the heir apparent to the imperial throne, and they don't really want to be the leader of this empire. Like, that's not their deal. They don't think of that's the right way to go things. So they're always sort of trying to hide and get away from everybody else that way. They think everybody should sort of be more independent and free and have more local organization than they currently do, than to some distant empire and imperial place. I look mostly human, but like sort of androgynous. I have like long blue-black hair that glows in the light, but I try to keep it like sort of like tucked up underneath a hat at all times, because I also have like this small little like rainbow nub of a horn on my forehead that I also try to like duck down under this hat so that people can't really recognize who I am. And these special crystals, that communications we were talking about, also had this, for me, in trying to be hiding, have this unfortunate side effect that I recharge them when I'm nearby. And so that means they start to glow and hum whenever they come close to my presence. And so it kind of has a detrimental side effect that they might be a way to easily locate and recognize who I am, even if I'm trying to hide. Yeah, and so that's me. I think all about smaller local organizations and governments rather than one giant imperial one.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And I think we're going to start with we're on a planet, I think, that is outside of the more centralized, more heavily influenced by the imperial throne, which our imperial throne, if we remember, is a council with the empty throne up there. They speak in the name of the missing emperor. This is a planet that's a little further out, as Moonicorn has arrived there. Moonicorn, why do you think you've arrived at this planet? What brought you here?
Yeah, so like I think I am here because there is some sort of like religious conflict or something that is happening, where this, like as we defined in the previous, like all the fronts, that each planet sort of has like their own religion. And if you're not part of that religion, like there's like satellites and things that are outside where you can live up there and go and visit. Like you could work every day on the planet if you're a different religion, but like you can't live there. Like you have to have your residence somewhere else, even if it's just orbiting. So like I think I'm there for some sort of like conflict that comes up when somebody like announces me as like being the Holy One. So like I think maybe it's somebody from like the planets, or even somebody from the satellite who recognizes me as this position. Maybe they know that I'm actually the heir to the imperial throne type thing, and so they're trying to do that type of stuff.
Well, then I think that as you've arrived here, and you're newly arrived to the planet, so almost met as soon as you get off the ship. As this person in official garb, and you could tell that they're very high up in the religion because they have an extremely fancy hat. The most sure sign of religious power is a fancy hat. And as they come up in their robes and they greet you, the prophecy is nearly fulfilled. It is a great blessing to us that you have come, Cora.
I mean, I'm glad that I'm here, that I can help you resolve everything. But like I've told you before, like I know you consider me some symbol of like a prophecy, but that's not necessarily me. Like I think that's you guys. You guys have got to do this on your own. I will help and how I can, but like
we appreciate that you've come. There have been rumblings, a schism within the religion itself. It is our hope that with the fulfillment of the prophecy, that we will all reach harmony again. And having you here means that truly we should be inspired. Your words will bring that peace back to us.
That is what I want. I just want peace everywhere, where people can live how they want, and whether it's your religion or the schism, the other minor religion, I just want everybody to live happily and successfully. So.
Please, come. And he'll motion you over towards, and this person is human looking for the most part. It's an outworlder, so there's that sort of oddness of a planet that becomes isolated. There's some unusual looks to them. I think I'm going to ask Patrick, you're our other. This seems like an othery bit. What is the odd thing about the people of this planet? What is one physical thing that makes them not quite human standard?
I think they have like a sort of translucent, sort of crystalline body structure. Not quite like weird human organs underneath and everything. But they have their own organs and internal structure, but it's all vaguely translucent, and their outer skin is sort of like crystal clear.
Ooh, all right. So I think we're going to play then that we have a slightly different colored sun than like we would know here on Earth. Maybe a little bit in that kind of bluish tinge. And that is, they absorb, they needed this slowly have evolved, or through genetic manipulation, who can say, have evolved this ability so that they can get the proper nutrients out of this sun. Their vitamin C, I suppose. All right. And so as they, Cora, please, he leads you. They have this chariot set up. It's gold, very ornate. And you can see that there are these mechanical geese that are attached to the front of it. And so as you step onto it, he pushes a button down. And they lift up as you begin flying across this city. In the blue light, the city just seems to gleam, and there's a crystal sort of feel to it. I'm going to ask, we heard that you, Spiral, said for sure you're not there, but I'm wondering, Frantic, do you think you've come to this planet, or do you think you're still back, say, with Space Worm and Spiral?
I think I very much wanted to be, but unfortunately, the job that I was in, that I basically gave myself to be at that party, to give myself an excuse to be at that party, did not pan out in the chaos. So my expenses are about to run dry, but I think I got an invitation to come to this planet for a job, and and the invitation was weird because it addressed me as Frantic Darling, the Thief of Space and Time, a title that I have no idea what that's about. But I'm in a bit of dire straits at the moment, and they're offering passage. I'll take it. We'll see what this job is, and hopefully it's not too demeaning.
Okay. So then I think I'm going to say that I think we're going to have had you arrive at roughly the same time, but not the same ship. And so as you've arrived on planet, you see the Goose Chariot heading off. You have to take somewhat more humble passage, but someone is there to meet you as well. Sidling up to you, you see a man, and he is in a black robe with a bit of a hood. And as he comes up to you, he pulls it back, and you could see the translucent skin beneath it of a native. As he says, very nice to see you. I have come to, to give you passage. Please.
Frantic is confused by the whole being nice to see, because all she's wearing a space hoodie, which is a hoodie with some neon on it, and she hasn't washed it in like a week, and there's a very embarrassing red a ketchup splash in the corner, and she's like, look, the offer is nice, but are you sure you've got the right person?
Oh, we are very certain. and takes you to an enclosed carriage. Kind of got that funereal look to it. I mean, it's all black, and the horses, which again are mechanical, all black in front. Please, come in. I will explain what we are interested in, great thief of space and time.
I just look confused. I don't think I have so many questions, but you know what? I'll get in. Sure.
As you hop into the carriage and begin setting off, this figure leans in to say, "Today we are expected for the prophecy of our planet to be fulfilled. The gate will open, and the voice of our God will speak to us."
That sounds very cool. But what do you want me for this? What do you want of me?
The prophecy says that when the God speaks, we will receive a holy crystal.
Again, that sounds very cool. But what do you want me for this?
The Pontifex Maximus shall lift up the crystal and take power on this planet as its leader, both spiritual and temporal.
Can you skip a few lines? I just want to know what you want me from. What do you want me for this?
We want you to bring us the crystal. We're going to cut from that statement over to you, Moonicorn, as you're flying across the city, and it is beautiful. In its center, you could see that there is this massive contraption, many stories high, gleaming in gold. Looks a lot like a Stargate, if you want to know the truth. And you can see that the people are all milling around it, and there are thousands upon thousands of people. You could see where there are large screens set up around the city that are showing it. There's food vendors, and as you're flapping in with the goose chariot, you can see that up on a dais in front of it, there's a pavilion set up, and you can see there's it looks like this is where the grand ceremony is going to be taking place. And the gentleman who is taking you says, the Pontifex Maximus will be so glad to meet with you. It is auspicious to have you present.
I'm glad I could be here and to help witness this ceremony that is going to take place. I just hope that it turns out the way that you're looking for. I just want the best.
You are an inspiration to us all, Corazon. And as you fly in, it puts you, drops you there next to where they built. It's clearly not here all the time. It's temporary. But it is this very elaborate sort of like little receiving room. Has the crystalline forms of towers around it, but it's all done in somewhat miniature. So, probably there is the great space Vatican of whatever this planet is. This is like a little version of it that they put right here. And as you come in, you thought this guy had an impressive hat, but nothing compared to the gentleman who comes. I mean, it's got tassels there. I mean, it is very, very large. And as you get out, this gentleman comes forward and, Corazon, welcome. Welcome to the planet. I'm going to call it Crystalline. And sort of set it up. So the planet Crystalline.
And I just sort of like nod and like, Pontifex Maximus. So good to see you again. I'm glad I could be here for this ceremony. And I kind of like look at his, at their outfit and everything, and then like look down at like very like nondescript, like dusty, like clothing. And I'm like, I know that the ceremony is soon, and I'm sure you have a more proper attire for me. Do you think maybe you could direct me to that where I might get cleaned up before the ceremony?
Of course, of course. Please, and motions towards a servant. Please take Corazon somewhere that they can properly attire themselves. Give them all that we have in a bath, fragrant oils, the finest of hats.
Yeah, and I imagine that like there's like this goes into like a montage scene of like where like people are like trying to give me fancier and fancier things, and I'm just like, no, like I just want like a towel to wash my face, and like there's like all of these outfits, and I'm like picking the simplest, like most elegant, like an elegant one that's still like fancy, but like no tassels or anything like that. It's just like, no, I want that one. No, keep that one over. No, I want that one. And then, yeah, it's just all of that montage.
Excellent. And as they get you presentable, you're hearing, these servants as they're kind of overawed, first off being with you, but talking about this prophecy as well. Finally, the great God will speak with us. We will finally hear the wisdom of the great God, and the crystal will appear. What do you think it'll be? And so you're hearing all of these thoughts that they may be having. They think that the crystal may present the words of all knowledge, or that the crystal may open up a whole new field of study. All of these things. They're very excited about it. They ply you with food. They give you all of the, every possible luxury that you could have here. Before the Pontifex Maximus will, have you, once you're dressed, bring you back. And, are you feeling more refreshed, Corazon?
Yeah, and I come back and like I definitely am all cleaned up and everything, and I am wearing like a relatively simple like outfit. I think it's like one of those like one piece like robe gown type things that goes all the way down. And since like this is sort of like a translucent thing, like I think there's like it's got like just like little sparkles, like crystals, like interwoven into it. So like it sparkles, and it's not really translucent, but like it sort of gives that sparkly crystalline appearance, even though it looks like that. And I think the one concession like on that is like, I'm like, because everything's revolved around the hat, like I still have my like sort of like, I cleaned it up so it doesn't look dusty anymore, but like it's like the cleaned up, it's like a beige like beanie with like the aviator like goggles on top of it. So like that, like my hat is totally plain compared to everybody else, but I'm still wearing it. But I think like my hair is down, so like I have like the long blue black hair that goes past my shoulders in the back that sort of glows in the backlight, like glows blue and stuff like that. So like I definitely look like impressive, but like the hat like sort of like stands out as being like
Perfect. And since you're meeting the Pontifex Maximus, and this is your first meeting with an encounter with a authority figure, you'll see there's a move on your sheet that I must do one of these things. I must reveal a lack of responsibility on the part of the authority by his authority. I must reveal a resource the authority is lacking, or reveal corruption with this authority. Something that you're noticing as Pontifex Maximus comes up, and it's, just as being as effusive as can be, just, oh, so glad to have you, so, offering any sorts of refreshment, everything like that. You're noticing, though, that there are armed guards. And, it seems, this figure, we've heard of a schism. It could be that, they're worried about the Pontifex. But you've also sort of noticed that, and it strikes you that as you were traveling around, there were always these armed guards near you. And they're keeping a very close eye on you now that you've come. And after the Pontifex has greeted you here and at this reception room, and as you know, the ceremony will start soon. Please be at ease until such time. You see the Pontifex move off, and as he does, these guards don't go with him. They're sticking much closer to you. So just something to keep in mind there. The ceremony does begin fairly soon. He wasn't telling you a fib or anything. And as music begins to play out in the crowd, that enormous gate begins to sort of reverberate. It's a lot like, you know, running your finger around a wine glass, sort of crystal sound that's buzzing in the air, and the people are getting more and more excited as the Pontifex looks over towards you. Corazon, please, it is time, and motions you towards the platform.
Yeah, and I think like I kind of like look, and when I walk towards the platform and I get to the edge, and I'm like, I'm sorry, Pontifex, like I know you want me there, but this is not my religious ceremony. I'm here as an observer, as a witness for what is going on. This is a position for you and I like turn and like gesture at the people, like for the people of this planet, not for me, an outsider. This is your place. And I sort of like direct them to the stand instead of me.
All right, he says, but great Corazon, you are our guest. Please, I would never wish to impose upon you, but it would be such a pleasure to the people if they could at least see you. Will you not stand at least with us on the podium as this happens again as my guest, great Corazon?
And I kind of like look at them and kind of say, this place, this ceremony, this religion, it's not me. And as much as I am your guest, I want to make sure that you and your people and everyone here is the center here. I do not want to steal that from you. That would be just by me being present there in that view. I will be associated as who it is for. I want people to recognize that this place and this ceremony is for your people. And those who are observant will notice that I am here, just present by the stand itself.
Why don't you roll me a try to convince there?
Yeah. What's our roll 20 or our roll for our party again?
Let's see. I don't know if I really established one before. Did I stick one in our stuff?
If not, I can just pop one open and give it a roll.
Yeah. If you'd like to pop one up and share it, we'll use that one.
Sure. I'll throw this here. And the important decision, what color dice do I use? I think I'm gonna go with turquoise.
Ooh.
I got an 8 plus my 2 of integrity, I believe, because it's plus integrity.
Mm-hmm, it is.
I got a 10.
Oh, fantastic. The Pontifex, of course, wise Corazon. If that is what you wish, I will certainly, sir. But please do stay close. I would hate for you to miss the wonders that are going on, and I will definitely want to hear your wisdom. at the end of the ceremony. And as he, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm just like, of course, and like I go and stand like near the pedestal, but like not there. The thing I want to pay attention to is like where like all of the guards are, because like I imagine that they are not like, as much as they want me to be on the pedestal, they probably also don't want all of the security and the guards anywhere near there type thing. So I kind of want to look at that.
As he moves up onto this platform, and there's others with somewhat smaller hats that are up there with him as well, you notice that there are a good half dozen guards that have maintained close to you. And as he leaves, he sort of looks over at one of them who, even amongst the guards, has a slightly larger hat than the other guards. And you see him give a little nod over towards him as he moves up. There are some other guards around for like crowd control, and you see they're armed. You know, they all have weaponry. But those half dozen are kind of keeping a distance, a respectful distance from you. Probably, surely they're just there to make sure nothing happens to you. Meanwhile, I'm going to hop over to you, Frantic, as you are brought towards this ceremony and meet with a group of people in, again, these hoods as you arrive there. Now, of course, we could kind of start, I think, maybe in the carriage where he said, "We want you to steal the gem." How did you react to that?
Was he leaning forward towards me in a very dramatic manner? I think when the camera cuts to me, I'm leaning way back, and I'm like, that sounds like something I can do. Yes. Okay. All right. We're getting somewhere. Okay.
And so as you are brought back, there is this little cabal, probably about 8 or 9 of them, that have come to you. Frantic, darling, we have arranged for you to be in the front row, if that will help you. We also have a network. As soon as you take the gem, you can turn it over to us. We will hide it, and we will help you escape the planet as well. And, of course, pay you quite handsomely.
That all sounds really cool. Can I? No, actually, I'm not. I'm just wondering. The invitation. This sounds like a very big operation, and not to sell myself short, but why me?
Why you? Well, I think you underestimate yourself. This is a prophesied moment. We have looked far and wide for the one who it is written is the thief of space and time. All of our auguries show it is you.
Do your auguries show if I succeed? Because that'd be nice to know.
Our auguries show you're the only one with any chance of success, if that makes you feel better.
You know what? It kind of does. You know, it kind of does. Also, at this point, Frantic's pulled up her hood, and just because she feels weird being known without a hood. Yeah. So this ceremony, how I don't know much about these religious folks, but what should I expect?
The gate will open. The false pontifex will invoke the god. Once our god speaks, the gem will appear, and it is then that the pontifex will call upon the light. and the gem will absorb the light, and in its power rise up. That's when you must take it.
Only then, at the most highly visible, most highly guarded, the apex of the ceremony.
Yes.
Then, okay. All right. In the sorry, it's another question, but in this prophecy, in the hierarchy of people in this prophecy, it's presuming I take it. Do I make it out there? Silly question, but prophecies say what happens once I take it.
Oh, indeed it does.
Okay.
We shall take the gem. We shall elevate our own Pontifex Maximus. We shall bask in the light of the gem, and we shall have the power.
Okay, cool. Okay, I think Frantic's gonna look at her feet and is like, okay, this is a bit of a risk. I don't know if it's part of your prophecy, but can I also ask for a favor of you guys? When you rise up, just an extra thing. I know you're already paying me and getting me out, but a bit of a tall order.
Of
but
course. Yeah. What favor could we give?
Is it something that I can bank and cash in for later? Is that okay?
Certainly. Our gratitude will be boundless.
God, I love working with religious types. Okay, all right. Okay. All right, if your prophecy says so, and guess I'll do this. It'll be good.
All right. And so we have you placed amongst the crowd. As the ceremony begins, the Pontifex Maximus gets up there and he addresses the crowd. And he goes on for some time, and I won't. As he tells them of the gods' words that are to come, the wisdom that will be bestowed upon them, that the great crystal will appear, and that with it will rise up a new and glorious future for Crystalline. For once Crystalline has the crystal with it, it will be the center of power and of glory in the galaxy. He goes on a little bit more long-winded than that. But the rise of that noise that the gate's making has just reached this point where people are kind of like going, oh, maybe the Pontifex is kind of getting this, as he turns back, raises his arms up. And inside of this gate, light begins to swirl. Energy begins to flash around it. From the light, a booming voice rings out. And all the people will hear the word. All the people shall know the word. And the word is law. And this thing's... And out from it begins to kind of project crystal, about like this big. It's jet black. And the Pontifex he's looking so excited as it's coming. And as he touches it, he says, oh, great Lord, tell us the word. He says, the word is destruction. The Pontifex grabs this thing, says, yes, with our power, we shall destroy all those who oppose us. He turns and he places it on this thing that is set to hold it. And he says, now we shall bring on the light. He glances back over towards you, Moonicorn, as he says, "Come, Corazon, power our crystal." And you see those guards now have guns out pointed at you.
Yeah. So I think this is where the I will totally like. I think I'm going to be triggering my stand,
Okay.
take a stand move, but it's sort of the like I'll walk up to it, and I think I'm going to lower my integrity by
Okay.
1 to basically. Actually. I don't know which one of these things I want to do. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, and we'll figure out exactly what it matches up to. Is like I think I'm going to like walk up to the like, even though they have their guns pointed at me, it's going to be like I'm definitely going to draw the attention of everybody to me and like inspire them as I walk. And I think like it's sort of the like taking the hat off, like the little dusky hat that I'm wearing, and like you can see like the little rainbow nub on my forehead, like glowing. Type thing, and it's probably like it's probably like glowing and sparkling like as like the emphasis of the light, and so like and then my hair is sort of that bluish glow as well, and like I'm walking towards them and I'm like, Pontifex, I cannot be your light that powers this crystal. Like you can have your religion here. And it can be on this planet where you and everyone here. But this type of power, this destruction to all others who oppose you, I cannot stand for that. And I will not be party to this. And I think it's sort of the like trying, like, because this is a pedestal and a platform that like everybody is paying attention to, like I'm trying to get everybody else, like the crowd, to be like on my side of going like if this is what you want, you guys can have it here, but I will oppose you, and I will not be party to this. I will not power your crystal.
Okay, I think this works well with your speak from the heart so that everybody is hearing this.
Yeah.
You're communicating effectively. And I think you're also taking a stand.
Yeah.
So I think drop that integrity by 1.
Perfect.
And, we're hearing murmurs in the crowd. There are those who weren't quite expecting this would be the word. And then there's some others who are like, yes, finally, our time has come. So there's a real rumble amongst the crowd. With your take a stand, you can choose an option from that list. Which one are you choosing?
Like I kind of want to, like, it feels like the thing I'm doing is I'm inspiring someone watching me. Like, I think that's the thing that feels the most right.
I like it too. And I'm the one who says who it is. So I'm going to slide over to you, Frantic. As we've just heard, you've just seen that this crystal is apparently, once it's powered, some enormous capability of destruction weapon. And you see your friend, well, Moonicorn. You have a bond with Moonicorn. What is your bond with Moonicorn?
My bond is they know incriminating details about me.
Oh.
I don't know if we're friends or not. I know Moonicorn's bond with me is that they're trying to help me. They're trying to help me and rescue me from the Empire. Maybe what I see is like this revolutionary figure who knows exactly who I am, and it's kind of like the one person who knows everything about me, and I'm kind of like, this is the last place I expect to see them. And also, I'm wearing like a medium hat. It's nothing that's too as a disguise. It's not too ostentatious. It just blends in. I want to
just big enough.
Yeah, exactly. It's a perfectly fine hat. So I've been watching this crystal, and I've been preparing my plan, but yeah, there's a conflict now in my mind because I like to think I'm not a terrible person. I don't want to give this crystal of destruction to anyone, whether they be people with big hats or hoods. Like, I'm more partial to the hoods, sure, but and they're offering me quite a bit. But then, no, I don't want any of that.
Do you think that Unicorn's words have inspired you?
I think I'm going to seek them out after this. And also because they're refusing to power the crystal, and if I take it now anyway, it wouldn't mean anything to me. Well, actually, you know what? I might still take the crystal. I might still just. It's a crystal that can hold power.
All right. So, in that case, we see the Pontifex look over at you, Cora, and say, "You have no option, Corazon. Bring them!" And you see these guards closing in as they're trying to move you up there. But yeah.
I think when they say you have no option, I'm like, there's always an option. And I think like it's going to be the do I want to take the crystal for myself and start that type thing, or do I want to run away? I think yeah, as soon as the guards like coming for me, like I like kind of just like put up a hand and like walk towards them, like giving them the impression that like I am going to that I'm going to go along with everything. And I'm going to lose all my integrity in just a second. I just realized, but that's okay. Whatever. I'll go down to 0. Like, I think this is the right thing to do. Is like no, I'm going to go along with this. And like as I get to it, it's totally going to be just like a snatch and grab, and like grab the crystal and just start sprinting. And I think like I'm going to be like looking to like whoever I can, like out there, like to the crowd, or maybe like catch sign of Frantic Darling. Like I'm just running for it with this crystal in hand, and I'm going to lose all integrity because I am going to betray or lie to someone. Because that is exactly what I did. Is I go down to 0.
As you touch the crystal, you feel the power, and it gets that first spark as you begin to charge it. And the crowd, having heard you, those that were kind of going, hey, why are we destruction? Is that really what the gods wanted of us? They are starting to riot. You have inspired them. And so there's all of this craziness going on. Frantic, you see, the Pontifex is like, yes, 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 power the crystal. And as Cora touches it and it glows slightly, it's as though that light sort of floods across both the crystal and Cora. And all of the Pontifex, he pulls back. And as Cora, you begin to run, there is no one who can stand to look at you. The guards fall back, and zooming through, out into the crowd, into the mass. Frantic, are you going to try and keep up with Moonicorn, or what are you going to try and do?
I'm going to try and keep up to position myself to, well, I kind of want to take it from Moonicorn, but at the same time, I do want to talk to Moonicorn. And I think I know Moonicorn enough that they'll talk to me. So I think I'll just try to keep up for now.
All right. And so we have Cora running off with the crystal, disappearing into the crowd, as Frantic you go running after. And I think that's where we're going to end that part of our scene. And we're going to head over to our other two who we haven't heard from in a bit. But I think I'm going to take a break here before we get into you and give kind of a little setup or ask right before we take this little break to find out what the two of you are looking for next in your scene. So we've had this information come to you, Space Worm. Are you planning for something immediately then, or are we going to see something happening after the party? What are you wanting to do?
Well, I already set it up at the end of the party. I asked the head of the banking guild to be sent to me. So,
Excellent. So you want that meeting as our next scene?
I would like that meeting, and I want Spiral around for it as well.
Okay. And Spiral, what are you looking for in the next scene? Is that anything in particular you're wanting there?
Yeah, I'm looking to play out the like control of the heart. I'd like to get at least one order from Space Worm and see how that goes.
Excellent. All right. So we'll be having our that meeting will be our next scene with the two of y'all. Why don't we take 5 minutes and we'll come back and do that. It's getting cloudy here, so I'm actually not in the dark here on the camera anymore. All right, we'll let the other two get back.
Oh, excuse me.
All right.
I see that they still haven't actually announced whether Theresa May is going to be the head of government by the end of tonight or not.
I was hearing that there might be a vote of no confidence.
All good fun.
Mm.
Exactly what the country needs.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry y'all are having such difficulties.
Well, to be fair, I'm sorry you're having so much difficulties as well. I mean, look at who you've got in the Oval Office.
Yeah, I'm hoping that tide has hit its high and is starting to roll back out. We'll see in 2 years, but I'm hoping so.
That press conference they did in the Oval Office was just complete and utter.
Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous. It's just embarrassing.
We feel your pain, trust us. We're not doing much better. In fact, I don't think we're doing any better, if I'm totally honest.
Alrighty, well, so I'm going to ask, for Spiral, since we're saying you want to be in that scene that we have going on here with this meeting, and I'm guessing this is taking place pretty quickly after the party. You know, the party's winding down. You're calling this meeting like the next day, or is it like immediately?
It's immediately that night. But,
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, the head of the banking clans were invited to the party previously, and I suspected something might be going down. So.
And Josie, yes, you should. You did stand up to authority, so you may take an integrity back. Thank you. I should have mentioned that. I had been looking over him because I was like, oh, he's going down, but I think things are fixing to happen, and then I kind of, it slid from my mind. So, Spiral, as the party wound down and you're wanting to be in this scene, did you go and approach the Prince Director, or are you just sort of following the Prince Director?
Well, I think what would have happened is, like, he was sort of stuck there until Curzon came back with the sort of unintentional order of stay here and wait for me. But I think it would probably be a thing of, like, the party has cleared out around him. Curzon comes back through to find Spiral in, like, the exact same position, and it probably doesn't take very long to figure out that he has some sort of, like, command over him. So I think we're probably in the mode of Curzon, like, testing the limits and sort of trying to figure out what he can do with Spiral, or what they can do with Spiral. But what do you think, Garen?
I think so. I think this scene is basically me testing what I can get away with and what I can do in a social setting.
All right. So, Prince Director, did you just invite Spiral? Come with me. Was that sort of this meeting?
Once I figured out he's doing everything I say, exactly when I issue an order, it's just a case of come with me. I think I'd like to get to know you a bit better. And I'm going to take him down to my personal quarters. But my personal quarters are basically he presents such a austere image up front, and when he gets in, it's not elaborate. It's not these high back chairs and all gold everywhere. It's very austere, but there are trophies everywhere. There are things all over the place, including one which is a glowing black crystal that is in a little clear crystal box that's on the pedestal over the fireplace.
So I think I think Spiral's attention basically keeps wandering back and forth between Curzon and the crystal over in the side. As like he can't like focus on either one without the other drawing him away. But he's standing there and he just says, "Why am I here?"
That's a very interesting question, and not one I think that I can answer. Why do you think you are here?
Because you said to come. I had other plans. I was leaving.
Yet you
Frantic was here.
Yes. You are familiar with Frantic, then?
She is fun.
She can be. When she gets her homework in on time. The rest of the time, I don't necessarily approve. But that is beside the point. That is history. You've asked me why you're here. I say that I cannot answer that. You can answer that. Why are you here? Why have you come here?
I came to follow a call across the void, but you have some other call. What is that? Why do you have that? Looking over at the crystal.
That was that was traded to me several months ago. Someone had found it in place of where a star used to be. It is a trinket. It is interesting, but I haven't devoted full study to it. Do you think I should?
Will you give it to me?
It is a rare and priceless artifact. You seem drawn to it. In time, maybe you can earn it, but I do not give anything.
How can I earn it?
That is an interesting question, but not one I fear that we will answer tonight. I have guests coming. You wish to be here. You wish to learn of the voice that you talked to me about. You wish to learn of Corazon. Is that not right?
If that is the voice, then yes.
And by all means, Yoshi, go ahead.
Perfect. So like I want just like a very quick, like in like if this were the movie like scene type thing is you is like, I will never gift any, like I don't give anything. And it's just me like with Frantic Darling, like in like we've tucked away in some alley somewhere. And it's me like handing over the crystal. And it's just like, here, take this, go give it. Like there's this one known as Spiral. Give it to them. I think they are the ones who can do this. Like, can you do this for me? Like, it's like completely the opposite of like trying to give something away. And that's the whole scene. Like, that's all I want from that. It's just like that little bit.
Oh, that's nifty. Very nice.
That's nice.
And Gerwin, just to remind me, you have you took collection as your
That's right.
power. Right. Okay, cool. because I was just saying, wow, that's falling into perfectly there. Someone is very impressed by it. Cool. All right. So as you know, we had your conversation. You ended with Spiral, if that is the voice. As I think this would be about that moment that a servant would. The Bankers Guild is ready for you.
Then bring them in and serve drinks. I will look to Spiral. Do you drink?
The answer is complicated, but simply put, no.
Very well. 2 glasses.
And this is the head of the guild, or are you having, is it several?
No, this is the head of the guild. This
Just
is
the head. So we see coming in is a gentleman. He's a man that you can tell works with money because he's got that drawn sort of avarice look to his face. Tall. He has thinning blonde hair, kind of a long, pointy, very aquiline face. Think like a Cicero type sort of look to him. As he comes in, oh, Prince Director, what pleasure to see you.
Your Grace, it is good of you to come when I have disturbed you so late at night. Would you have a seat?
Thank you.
I will go and stand up from my desk and go and sit in one of the chairs opposite. So it's not me sitting behind a desk with him there. It's me sitting next to him.
You can see his eyes are cruising over the things that are in here, the wonders you have collected. And then they sort of stop on Spiral. And give a, sort of long look at you, Spiral. Do you do anything?
I think Spiral is just like standing ominously behind Curzon, like leaking shadows and misting vapors around, and no, he's just standing there very still with arms sort of clasped behind his back.
Prince Director, how may I be of service to you?
It is not how you may be of service to me, but how I may be of service to you.
Oh, Prince Director, that is something I always love to hear.
I'm sure you've heard of the recent edict of the council.
Yes, most unfortunate.
Yes, they've declared my trade in the... Do we actually have a name for the spice?
I don't think we ever did give a name. Would you like to lay one out?
I'm going to name them after the planet, so Orient crystals.
Orient crystals. Okay.
They have objected to my trade, my cornering the trade in the Orient crystal market.
It is not entirely surprising. Such a valuable commodity in one man's hands is, well, would be disturbing to the council, I'm sure.
Well, I fully intend to comply with the edicts of the council in this matter.
Indeed.
They have declared my trade illegal, therefore I will stop that trade.
Prince Director, do you not imagine that this will cause them to come and simply take it?
I think there are other things that will be distracting them at the time. You misunderstand me. When I say I will stop that trade, I will stop that trade to them.
Oh, I see.
I have another manner by which I wish to use the crystals in trade. At the moment, all taxes go through the imperial credit. Any sort of payment is done at the whim of the government, and taxes are paid on it.
Indeed.
It's what happens when there is only one currency. If I am not to trade the crystals, I wish to see another use for them.
Indeed.
There are those out on the edges of the empire that do not hold so dearly to the credit. I wish this to be the foundation of a currency.
The crystals themselves.
Yes. They are non-reusable. They expire. There is no inflationary pressure there. Once they are used, they are done. They present huge benefits to the way that it is done. At the moment, the credit is linked to myriad resources on the central worlds, the mining assets on the core planet, for instance. Were anything to happen to them, you would see wild fluctuations in the market. Less so with my proposed currency.
You're right, Prince Director. It could be... Well, I would think that my associates and I would be most pleased to see a more stable, consistent, and let's say homegrown currency.
Competition is the key to any market. And having a second currency out there, I think will prove beneficial for all.
And, Prince Director, don't think me impertinent, but should the Empire come and demand the crystals flow again, should they come and try and remove you?
I have, as you are sure I'm aware, you are aware, there are, I hold many core world assets. To pay my back taxes, I've released those assets to the Imperial throne. The only problem is they don't seem to be quite as easy to break up as one might have hoped. They tend to be in large holdings. And as I understand it, the council is, shall we say, divided on how they should be distributed. I think that should distract them long enough to allow us to bring this currency to bear and actually establish it properly.
Your plan has a lot of merit, Prince Director.
Besides, their ability to coordinate will dry up as soon as the supply of crystals dries up.
This is true. I think, Prince Director, that my associates and I would be more than happy to go into this little venture with you.
Excellent. Then I will offer my hand, and let us make this a deal. And as a deal amongst friends, let me make a gift to you. Is there anything in the room that he's been looking at that is been catching his eye?
You see that there is a beautifully golden filigreed crown that he has definitely been looking at. There's a big hat motif I'm seeing in this game.
Maybe we should have made the spice hats instead.
Yeah. The haberdashers rule the world!
Oh, come on. You're telling me they secretly don't? Okay, so back in character. Then let me make you a gift. I will walk over and open up the cabinet and take out the crown. This is the crown of the God Emperor Melech. His empire only lasted 2 decades, but it holds a very special place for the people of the Malachians. I would like this to be my gift to you.
Oh, Prince Director. It is lovely. You could just see the sort of greed in his eyes as he looks at it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Will you join me in a drink?
Of course. Of course. As this is going on, Spiral, anything you're doing?
I don't know. I think this is all very like esoteric and wildly confusing and boring to Spiral. I think he'd probably try and do something to make the lights go out at some point because he's really curious as to like what the fuck Curzon is up to here.
Okay. Does that sound like you're doing something maybe a little dangerous, trying to turn off the lights here inside of SpaceWorm's center, or do you think that this is more like, do you think it's even a role, that it's more like you just go over and flip the switch?
I don't know. I could do something dangerous for like doing it without immediately getting caught.
Okay. So why don't we have you do that? If you're acting impulsively, you're rolling with wild. If you're enduring and powering through curious.
It's sort of strange because I'm pursuing curiosity by acting impulsively. Curiosity is not exactly what curious seems to stand for there, but yeah, I think it's wild, probably.
Well, you're a strange other creature. Maybe it's more curiosity through wildness in your dimension. All right, so roll with wild.
Oh, so 9 minus 1 is 8.
All right. You complete your intended action, but there are some complications. I'm going to say that, you're kind of standing behind Curzon and kind of looking about for what could turn off the lights. And there's a bank of switches, a bank of light buttons on this desk, that as you reach over, figuring one of these as the light source, the light, and you push it, and indeed, the lights all go out for a moment there. There's only two things that glow in the room. One is that crown, but it's only glowing in the face of that bank director. And as it glows on him, you can see, looking at it, that it is like, you can almost see where the radiation of it is starting to affect him. Probably only your strange sights, but you could pretty much tell this thing's going to kill him. He's going to want to hold it and play with it. It's going to devour him in the end. The other thing that has a bit of a light is that heart crystal of yours over the mantle. And it is glowing with the light of hyperspace within it. The rest of the room is black for a moment.
Can I add something to that?
Certainly.
So the cane that Curzon carries flashes briefly with light, itself having been made from a crystal, as he puts out the call for his bodyguards.
All right. And you're attempting there, I'm guessing, Patrick, to use your Oceans Tell the Secrets?
Yeah, I'm not really sure if it works.
Why?
Because I didn't actually achieve total darkness.
I have no problem with it going off. This is something only you can see, that we can't see it. It's only with your vision, so I don't see there being an issue there.
Okay. So I think, yeah, there's that feeling again of like, even with the lights out, you still sort of have that weird hindbrain sense of where people are in the room, and that feeling of Spiral just like spreads and oozes and dissipates and sort of seems to be all around you, as whispered like in your ear, in your mind, sort of vibrating through your bones. Here's the question: what secret pains do you hold in your heart?
My mother was taken from me. My mother's people were destroyed. All I do to avenge them and to make sure it happens to no one else.
Excellent. And as this happens, we have the doors open and light begins to come in as the bodyguards arrive. And you see them immediately, inside of the glow of them coming in, and they brought light with them, and they are pointing straight at the head of the banking guild. They have weapons out.
Stop. I'll turn to the head of the banking guild. Sorry, did I see Spiral actually flick the switch? My back's to him, so I'm
Your back was to him.
Yeah. What have you done here?
Say this to the head of the banking guild?
Yes.
Nothing. I nothing at all.
Be very careful. Your life hangs in the balance right now. It can go one of two ways. You can either be honest with me, trust me as I have trusted you, and we will have a productive future together. Lie to me, and I see the antagonism between us. What have you done?
Nothing, Prince Director. I am as much in the dark as you.
I can see from your face that you are an honest man, despite your profession.
He certainly looks scared as hell.
And to my friends, I am I can't even say the word. Magnanimous. Magnanimous. I count you a friend.
You see him sort of breathe for the first time. I assure you, Prince Director, I am most happy with your friendship. I am your friend as well.
Then let us leave here as friends, and I will pour 2 drinks. And I will hand him one, and this one up myself and toast.
He toasts you back.
To prosperity.
To the future, Prince Director.
To the future. And I will drink it, and I will stand down the guards and ask one of them to escort him out to his car.
All right.
Out to his transport.
All right.
And as soon as the doors are closed, I'm going to turn around and go, what just happened here? To the guards and to the room generally.
The guards are looking. I don't know, Prince Director. You summoned us here, but we saw that the lights had gone out.
I'm going to stop and turn around and look at Spiral. Was that you?
Yes, I wish to know more about you because you intrigue me. So I attempted to catch you in complete darkness, but I did not want you to react badly, as some of your universe tend to.
I'm going to slap my cane down on the floor. Never do that again. Those negotiations were years in the making. One misstep could have led to disaster, not just for me, but for trillions of life forms. You do not seem to understand the stakes with which I am playing.
Yes, Curzon.
Only my friends call me Curzon. Are you my friend?
I find you fascinating. Your voice carries a special power with me, and your regard is important to me. I would have nothing in this galaxy harm you.
Then I consider you a friend. One moment, please. I will turn around and go over to to my drinks cabinet and take out the antidote and drink it. And turn to one of the guards. I gave him the first part of that two-part venom. Should he betray us, arrange to have the second delivered.
Of course, Prince Director. And I think that's probably seems like a wrap on that scene.
One last thing.
Yeah.
So, as a friend, I have something to ask of you. You wish to earn your heart.
Yes.
Would you be so good as to destroy the spaceport over their core prime? I find the mining facilities there. The mining facilities there offend me, and I wish to see them reduced.
If this will earn me my heart, then yes.
It will be a step towards it, yes. But as you have seen, I'm generous with my friends. And
I am glad then that you consider us friends.
Yes, a crown and some poison. So generous.
I didn't threaten him. I didn't try to kill him. I didn't threaten any violence there.
Tis true. All right, we're going to close that scene. And I think we're going to pick up with our kind of that little tidbit scene we saw.
Patrick, I need to make a roll.
Oh, which one? What role do you need?
Command.
Yeah, I suppose you do. For the guards?
No, for the actual setting up of the currency.
Ah, yeah. Okay. So you lower your power by 1 and roll with power, then you'll lower it by 1.
Yep. 1 second. What color do I want? Oh, it's got to be red for... Okay, so that would be an 11.
Ooh. All right. So they're going to obey quickly, but may try to weed out those who resist. Which probably is sort of what you want. And the banking guild is off and starting your desires there. All right. Yeah. We cut back to that quiet place where we have Cora and Frantic. And you've just been handed this crystal, Frantic, and asked to take it, I believe. I believe that was what. Take this, go.
But wait, what?
Look, Frantic darling, like, you've seen how, and like looking at the crystal, like it's that glance down, it's like glowing and singing. I'm like, you see how this acts with me around. I cannot transport this. Like, I cannot hold this. I cannot keep it safe and quiet. But you can take this. There's one known as Spiral. I've met them once, and I think they are the ones who know what to do with this crystal. They will have the ability and the vision and the history to be able to do something, the right thing, whatever it is with this. But I cannot let this crystal be used for destruction and for gathering of power and I can't take it to Spiral. I will be found too quickly. I need you to do this. Can you do this for me?
Oh my god, Frantic is kind of like, wait, what is it with people trusting me with big weird crystals today? What? And she's looking at the crystal. It's all this power, and I think she just looks at you because she's always been confused by you. It's like, why do you care so much?
And I think you see me kind of like look at you, and it's like, I know you, and I know what you've been through, and you may think that might make me a liability to you, but it also makes me understand you. I know what you're trying to get away from, and I too am just trying to leave the rest of what everybody expects from me behind. I know what you will do to try to maintain your new identity. And I know that you want the same things that I do. And you could leave and take this crystal and do something else with it. But I trust you. And I believe you that when I ask you to do something, that you will have the integrity and understanding to see the right course of action and do it because you understand that that's the right thing to do.
Boy, you think you got me so figured out? That's really, really scary. Like, all right, say that you know me so well. Can I know you as well as you know me? I just just clear something up for me.
Yeah.
You say,
and I think as you say that, like you're holding the crystal, and like I place my hands like on your hands and like just like squeeze lightly. I'm like, anything you want, just ask away, and I will tell you.
okay. You say you're running away from who you were, like I'm doing. But standing up in front of people and telling them how the world should work, that doesn't sound like running away. That sounds like staying behind. And I mean, you could run away in so many. I mean, you could run away as far and as fast as you can, but you're here, shouldering everyone else's burdens. You don't need to do that. Like you could just go. You could do it. You're with all the things you can do and all the things you're capable of. You could just go. Why do you care so much?
And I look at you, and I kind of like maybe like do that stare into the half distance a little bit as I'm thinking, and I respond. I'm like, you're right. I could run away and disappear forever, and nobody would know who I am. I could probably make that happen. But if I see a child, a person, anyone starving in the streets, and I have the ability to give them food, I will. I see what is going on out here. And as much as I wish to be nobody, I want to stop starvation. I want to see people do better. Maybe I'll help that child get some food right now, but I will also talk to them. and figure out a way that they can get food for themselves, because that is the only way I can see for them to no longer be starving. It's not to give them the sandwich that I'm currently holding. It is to help them and make sure that they can feed themselves. And that is what I want. I don't want to be the one always providing the sandwich for them. I want them to be able to make it themselves.
Frantic is trying very hard not to swoon over you. And I think she looks away for a moment and she's trying to collect her thoughts. It's like, for some reason I thought you were just some lunatic who worshipped some higher ideal, like someone who fights for truth and justice and all that nonsense. My ethics professor told us that anyone who does that, who a mere automaton of duty, I think that's what he said, there's someone who doesn't have a sense of self. And I don't think that's you. Funny thing, I actually got a job to nab this crystal. But hoods are basically the same as hats, right? Okay. I still don't get why you care so much about me. But after you said all that, I really can't let you down, can I?
Thank you.
Oh, you may take an integrity back, Unicorn, for intimacy there. And having said that, Frantic, do you take it and leave?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it. Sorry, hood boys, but
then I think it sounds like you're planning to get off planet and go and try and find Spiral.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to have you roll just to see how this goes, and I think it's going to be your burglar. You're trying to sneak into a ship to get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds right.
So let's roll there, and that's going to be with your deft.
Okay. And I get a 10.
Fantastic. And with this, you get to name a time and place, and you're there. If something already happened, you see it, but can't change it. But yeah,
I know exactly. I think there's a spaceport apparently with some miners. Yeah,
Perfect.
Let's make it that.
Excellent. And so we see Frantic leave this little meeting of the two of them, heading off, and Thief of Space and Time where you, Cora, are there, kind of hidden away, and you could hear the rioting going on, and you see the forces of the Pontifex moving around, and you hear one of them as they pass your little alley, and we'll say you kind of pull back. I don't know where she's gone. The Pontifex is going to be very angry. And the other one looks and says, the Pontifex, think of the council. All of the council was prepared for this stone. And they head off.
I think like in that scene, there's the fancy outfit that I was wearing, the elegant. You just see it like laying strewn like in the alley, like in the background. They don't even notice that it's there, but it's the signal that like I've already changed outfits and I'm looking different. It's just lying in the background.
Excellent. Fantastic. So wow. I'm interested. I think what I'll do is take one more break here to kind of come up with what I'm going to do. But I'd like to go across the table kind of what we'd like to see next from us. And I'll try and make sure we have a scene where everybody gets in before we hit the end. So I'm going to ask you, Yoshi, what do you see for yourself coming up? Do you want to continue to have stuff with this planet and being hunted down by the Pontifex people? You want to get off planet and have us dealing with something else that way? Or, you think on what you kind of like there. What are you thinking?
So I think that maybe I get away. Like I don't like I want to see like the repercussions of me like getting away, but like I want to see it moving into the start of all of the things that Space Worm is doing. So like whether that's rumors of like the banking trade or things like that, like I want to see it moving into joining that thread.
Cool. I have something for that, I think, then. Patrick, we kind of have an idea of where your destination is going to be, but what do you kind of want to see out of that scene? What are you looking for in your next big scene?
I think I'd sort of be looking to like skip to the climax of that scene, because I definitely want to go and try and destroy that spaceport, but I don't actually have a clear preference for whether I succeed or not. If I succeed, then I get to go back to Curzon and I get to pester him with more questions, and those moves are super fun. But if instead it's a scenario where like I'm the improbable disaster that Frantic Darling is stopping, and then I get swept up in that side of things and find other reasons to take orders than just someone is holding my heart, I think that sounds cool too. So I'd like to play out that like climax where I'm in the control center flooding strange energy through the thingamajigger that's making all the stuff go off the scales and shit like that. But I genuinely don't know how it would end.
Okay. Cool. Leandro, what are you thinking for Frantic in your scenes coming up? What would you like to see?
Nothing incredibly specific. Maybe a complication that would take her out for a bit. Just so like I do kind of I like the idea of having a narrative reason for why I'm not here next week.
Gotcha. Excellent. Cool. And Gerwin, what would you like to see for our Space Worm scene next time?
I think I've been called to. Actually, let me think about it. Can I answer that when I get back, by any chance?
You certainly can.
I think I need some time.
That's fine. So let's take 5 minutes. We'll come back at 4:06 or 6 after the hour, depending on where you are. See y'all shortly.
So, I have my answer. I'd like to do a scene between myself and various alien leaders that Unicorn actually comes and tries to break up, as I'm basically planning a defense of this, basically making war plans in case the Orient is attacked.
Okay, awesome. I like that. Cool, cool, cool. I think I could work with that. That seems to fall into things we, like Yoshi was talking about. I think we can work with that. All right. Let Yoshi get back. And we're going to, my guess is we're going to have probably one big set of scenes for everyone, and then we'll probably wrap. So I think I'm going to start with that spaceport. I think that sounds like a big thrilling moment that will be very, very interesting. So, pull up your sheet. There we go. So, Spiral, you've arrived at this this planet, and you are. What is your intent? You said you're going to kind of go to whatever their navigation, the thing that lets them operate, bringing ships in and flood it with energies, destroying it. That's the idea of what would destroy it.
Sort of whatever the central power core / warp generator / thingamajigger that makes the walls between realities tear.
I gotcha.
And I want to flood it with way too much anti-universe hyperspace energy. That's the word, hyperspace. God.
There we go. I think that we're going to set this scene up as you've attempted to, you had to infiltrate your way to get back through there. And they've had security.
Maybe it's something dangerous.
That's what I was thinking, yes.
Cool. I don't think I'm managing to put the entire place in complete darkness, but I don't think this order is sending me on a suicide run, so I don't think it's acting impulsively. So enduring and powering through and just being, less affected by lasers in this universe than they would hope. So that is curious. Oh, yeah, that's my good one. Oh, that's a 6. So let's see. On a 6-, the GM tells you the consequences.
Can I actually help with that one?
You could certainly throw out a suggestion.
So I've actually set agents in place to help with this and to actually cover Spiral's entry in. The thing is, I treasure Spiral.
Nice.
So,
do you wish to aid?
I wish to aid.
Excellent. We get to see an aid. So they'll take a +1. There's not even a roll for it. As you helping out, having this thing set up. So Patrick, that's going to take you up to a 7 as the agents there are covering you.
Yeah, on a 7 to 9, I complete my intended action, but there are complications.
All right.
And I share the complications, I believe.
Ooh. Excellent. All righty. So as you let me check on that actually. Just 2 seconds. Yes, may affect them as well. Cool. You've made your way. And it's taken these agents really very directly confronting the security people. And so it's not like you've managed to sneak at this point. It is known you are there in their core. And more importantly, they're aware that it's Prince Corzon that is helping you. That one of the security people that Corzon sent has been captured. The word has gotten out that this is an action from the prince doing this, and that you are one of their agents. And so they've become quite frantic in dealing with this, and they're not completely sure. Let me ask you, Corzon, was this one of the planets you turned back over to pay your taxes? Is this one that used to be yours?
How do you think I actually got the people in place?
Perfect. So, so they are, aware that that SpaceWorm has done this, is taking back in a lot of ways what he'd given as payment. So there's that part of the consequence for SpaceWorm is knowing your claw is in this. But for you, Spiral, means that at the moment there is no escape. They have you completely surrounded. As you begin flooding this energy in, and the machine, we're seeing sparks. Just as in that interior room, the control room, you hear, ship coming in, ship coming in. Ship rushes in as the thing begins to explode. And frantic, your ship that's coming in has encountered all of this turbulence. And the captain is like, what's so? Oh no, something's wrong with the hypergate. As you manage to come through and it skids down, you have hopped off. And where it has ended up landing, you were able, it's kind of crashed into the top of the place. And, the ship itself was rather small transport. So, you had kind of managed to get on there with, there are no other passengers. And you see after the crash that most of the crew is injured. They're not moving around a great deal. Probably not dead, though. But where you smashed in, there's a rip into the ship, and you're looking straight down as you see Spiral flooding this thing with energy as it discharges, backlashes, and all this energy flowing. What do you do?
I'm going to misinterpret the situation and think that instead of him flooding the energy's coming at him. So I'm going to try to pull him up to where I am by using my grappling hook.
Oh, that's awesome. So let's do something dangerous. I think that's doing something dangerous because there's plenty of energy and nastiness, and honestly, Spiral's the source of a lot of the energy and nastiness. So let's roll something dangerous. It sounds like you're doing something brute force and toughing it out, or
yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll lucky.
Okay.
And that's a +1. That's an 8. So on a 7 to 9. Oh, come on. Where am I? You complete your intended action, but there are complications or consequences. GM says what?
Okay. Spiral, you feel, this kind of thing wrap around you, and it's trying to pull you, you look up, you see there's Frantic pulling you frantically up through the hole in the ceilings, into the hole of the ship. It provided you allow them to do it, you can be pulled out. You allow that. So as you are pulled up into the ship, this wrecked ship, there's Frantic in front of you. But as you're passing that space where there's the breach in the ceiling and into the ship, you can see flying in this direction are several interceptor fighter types that are coming because they've figured out, somebody's trying to break out the intruder here. So they're heading in your direction. How about we have the two of you interact, and then I'll let you get off your having fulfilled a command move. Sound good, Patrick?
Sure. So is this place blowing up or something?
down below, we've got the energies, and I'm thinking because we're talking hyper energy, it might even be like starting to fold in, and I mean, there's going to be a problem here. Plus, we've got fighters coming in that are probably going to start shooting in a moment. So that's your situation. But Frantic has rescued you and is right there beside you.
Hello, Frantic. It is good to see you. I did not expect to see you here.
Oh my god, I just saved your ass, and that's okay. No, never mind. Yeah, what the hell's happening?
Oh, actually, if you could help me disentangle this, if I don't get back down to those panels, then the space gate is in dangerous territory of not exploding.
Wait, yeah, okay, fine, yeah. Hold on, let me just put it. Wait. Not the.
Yes, I've very carefully set up a cascade feedback in the interdimensional portal engine. If I don't get down there to send the proper wave of energy through it, then this entire facility will stay standing and functional.
Hold on. I'm deleting words from what you just said. You want this place to be destroyed?
Oh, no, I have no personal desire one way or the other about this building.
But you're going to destroy it.
Yes.
And also, Frantic is now equipped with a space satchel, which is just a satchel with some neon on it. And
I like your satchel. It adds something to the coat. It was sort of plain otherwise.
Does Spiral feel the crystal that's in the satchel?
I think so. I think that you feel something that reminds you of home, Spiral, in that satchel.
It's a very nice satchel.
Yeah. Satchel's fine. It's an old thing, but there's something in it I'm meant to give to you. But I don't know if I should.
I understand. You often have problems with decisions. If you would follow me back to the panel, I can continue with my mission. If I don't, then he won't ever give me my heart back, and we wouldn't want that.
What? So, destroying this building with all these people, and you can probably hear interceptors in the air, all that just to get your heart back.
Oh, no. Again, the people have nothing to do with it. As I have explained to numerous of them along my entire progress through the building, they should all be evacuating. This is a very dangerous place to be, as it will soon implode into a hyperspace portal.
Did you? Well, that's the thing. You kind of cut a very intimidating figure. And also, what did I say about speaking complete sentences? But that's beside the point. Did whoever told you to do this, did they say anything? Did they just say destroy this place, or?
Well, no, they said many other things, but the orders about this place were fairly succinct.
Oh, think whatever's above that. You're very literal and straight-minded. Just very forward. Okay. Look, I don't. They're not gonna evacuate because you say so. And is the portal? The portal is kind of just staying there, right? It's not. It's just cascading a bit, right?
Yeah, it's sort of sparking and looking dangerous.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do what you say, since you've started things here. If you do this, people are gonna die. You keep this going.
That seems to bother you. but I don't see how that affects things.
What? The people dying bit? The people who didn't ask to be killed as part of your whatever it is you're doing here?
Will their dying unsay the words?
What? What words? But they don't know what your bullshit is all about. All they know is that you came in here to try and destroy this building, and that's going to kill them in the process.
Yes.
Oh my god. I think this is the first proper time that Frantic feels properly frustrated. All the other times there was a bit of like, okay, I'm dealing with someone weird and cool here, but now this is like. And she looks at the satchel and is like, and Steven's like, you can't stay here. You can't just do this. There are other ways to get your heart back. You don't have to do this.
I do not know how to not do this.
Well, that's why you're friends with a thief. I know how to get around rules. But you're gonna have to do not as I say. No, I'm not ordering out, but you don't have to follow their words. Whoever they are. She doesn't know it's Curzon. But look, if you just wanted something taken, you could have just asked me, you know?
If you had my heart, you would command me then?
What? No. That'd be weird. You don't strike me as someone who should be commanded. No, I'll just give it to you.
Oh. That would be simpler. It is unfortunate that I have to destroy this portal. And he goes back to, like, turns again to go back to the controls.
Oh, gosh.
I'm going to shift off of that for a moment, and we'll come back to it, because I definitely want to see us resolve that. We're going to go to Kara, who has managed to find a way off this planet. You take a transport, and Gerwin has kind of wanted his scene for a moment for the two of y'all to encounter each other, if that sounds good. So you jump to transport, not sure where it's going, it's just getting off this planet. So you're streaming through space. People on this transport are, you're hearing people talk. Are you trying to stay hidden and not draw notice? There are a few passengers, but it's mostly a transport.
Yeah, I imagine in general, I'm trying to stay hidden as much as possible, and so that people don't recognize who I am. Yeah, but it could totally be the thing where it's like the person who got me on board, whether that's the captain or somebody, one part of the crew or something, knows who I am. And so it's sort of the they're trying to keep it secret, and maybe they'll sell me out or do something like that type thing. But
okay, cool. So you're hearing, kind of rumors and people talking, and word is getting around that across all of the Imperial planets, the primary, those that are central and connected to both the Council that is temporal and the Council spiritual, these people are talking about that all of the religions are talking of this great prophecy that's supposed to be fulfilled. And since you're coming off this transport off this world, you overhear at one point two of them saying, This will be terrible. The Great Council has said that the gods were going to speak to us, and all we heard was destruction. The councils have said that a great artifact was going to come, and it was going to bring us all glory, that we were going to see wisdom. Now it's all fallen apart. But these rumors you're getting is that this was the entirety of all religions who were expecting this to happen. And you're also getting a little filter through of apparently the trade with the crystals is also being messed with. There's already rumors and fear that this isn't going to be, they're not going to be getting any. And so as you fly through, they are about to arrive. And you've been told that you're going to be coming into this, it's one of the alien worlds on the outskirts. And that apparently there is some great conference going on. And so as you land, I'm going to switch over to you, Prince Director. Word has, come back to you of this religious thing that's gone on, probably considering, your power and your ear to the ground. You would have heard of Cora's involvement in that not going so great for them. And when this ship is coming in, the alien that this home planet, the head of them, we'll say a president. We'll give them a president, I think. Comes up to you to say, Prince Director, a bit of information has reached me that might interest you. There's a transport landing coming from Crystalline. Perhaps they will know of the turbulence that occurred there.
Who is on that transport?
According to the docket, several passengers. They're transporting a few things. 4 crew members. Hands you the manifest.
Can you put me through to the transport's captain?
Of course. And as you look over the transport thing, why don't we have you do a study on it?
Okay. Am I in a place of power?
You are not.
Okay. So I stay at my current power rating then?
Stay at your current power rating, correct.
Okay. So, study. Command, considerable study. Okay. Let's get this done. That'll be an 11.
Ooh. All right. As you look over this manifest, you get to ask a question. I could focus it towards, if you'd like.
Who important is on this transport?
As you're looking down it, a name strikes you. Obviously, it's not Cora's real name. But for some reason, Yoshi, tell me, what name did you use that will key off Corazon?
Yeah, so it's probably some nickname that, because like me and Curzon knew each other from before, we're like cousins. So it's probably like a nickname that you called me when we were kids or like when we were younger, like type thing. So I imagine with like the dark blue hair or that like glows, it has something like that. So I don't know my gem.
Azir.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, Azir. And
What's
so
cerulean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
Do we have anything that's similar? Yeah, let's go with the first one. Let's go with Azir. Is
Okay.
the name that's listed, and that's what you called me as a kid, and so you recognize it.
That's fine. At which point I'm going to arrange to actually be at the spaceport when they arrive. Also, I want the encounter to be recorded from a distance.
All right. So, as Kara, you're getting off this transport. I think I'm gonna ask. Space Worm? Did you bring a bunch of people with you, or is it just going to be like you standing there?
There's going to be me, and there's going to be Aunt Darlin.
Excellent. So as you step off the transport, across from you, you see Corazon and a tall, rather strict-looking woman with a blonde ponytail. What do you do?
So I kind of look at them and I realize like there's no way this is a coincidence. Like they have to like know that I'm here. And so like it's like I look around and I want to see like is it just them, like if I like, or is there like guards on the periphery or things like that that like would stop me from running or doing things like that?
I think for the actual spaceport, you'll see this place has been kind of cleared, but there's 100 yards away there would be normal people and there would be the security. Now I ask you, Corazon, do you have your own security out amongst this as well?
My security are hidden amongst the people outside.
Okay.
So they are there, but they're not an obvious presence.
So there is, there's this cleared space around you as the passengers are exiting. And then distant, there's periphery people. So
yeah, so like I see everything and I recognize like I am obviously the person that Curzon probably wants to talk to. So like I think it's sort of the take a deep breath and like I'm like trying to relax my shoulders as I like just walk towards Curzon and I'm like, cousin.
It has been a long time since we've stood together.
It has.
How are you?
And I think I like look back at the ship that just came back from like chaos and I'm like, recently I've had better times.
Yes, I'm aware. A penny through your thought, and I'll throw them a coin.
Mm-hmm. Oh, can it be actually like one of those like crystals that you're using as the currency that starts to like glow?
It is it is exactly one of those crystals. But as you catch it, you notice it's actually got a face on it.
Yeah, and so like I catch it and like
your face.
Oh no! I catch it and like hear it glowing, and like hear it humming as I like look down and see it glowing and see my face, and I kind of like just like look back and like give you the eyes, and I'm like, and I think I pocketed it for right now, and I just look at you. I'm like, what have you done, cousin? This is not what I want.
It is not what you want, but it is what the universe needs. The Empire is on the point of collapse. If we just allow it to continue, billions will die. Things need to change. Things have to change. You cannot run away from your responsibilities.
On the things needing to change, we're both in agreement. I agree. Things have to change from what they are. The Empire cannot be the ones that coddle and take care of everybody else. They need to be able to do that on their own.
I agree.
I take the coin and I'm like, I can't do that by being their leader.
It takes one voice and one thought and one action to change the world. You have influence now, but as emperor, you could usher in a golden age. You could make the changes. You could make this a true republic of equal nations.
And this is where you and I differ. It is not one voice that matters that can lead, but the chorus of voices of everybody doing and working together that matters. I can't, being the leader, that's not going to help them.
It is not one voice that matters, but one vision. That is where you fall over. You would see chaos rather than prosperity. You would see people at each other's throats rather than order, enlightenment. Look at what happened with the religious gathering you just went to. Would you see that rule over the galaxy? Would you see the waves of inquisitors sweep forward to strike those who thought differently? I offer an enlightened age. I offer to put you in a place where you may do the most good. The throne is yours if you wish it.
I just shake my head and I'm like, cousin, where you see chaos, I see diversity. Where you see arguments, I see differences of people and curiosity and understanding and empathy. Where you see order, I see oppression, and I can't be a part of that.
And where you see diversity, I echo that. We are not different in the outcome that we wish to see. Indeed, we walk in the same steps, but we walk a different path. Your way would see a war that would last 100 generations. A war unending. How many lives destroyed? Mine would be quick, merciful. I cannot let you risk the future of this galaxy on the whims of a child. For that is what your views are. It is wish fulfillment. It is not how the world is.
Okay, I first off, I think you get an integrity for taking the moral high ground there. And I think we're gonna stop seeing as the two of you are facing off, clearly not agreeing on your visions of the future. Love it. As we seeing this, yes, Garen, sorry.
I would actually like to make a command to my troops, to my underlings as well.
Certainly, go ahead.
I had them record this from a distance. So basically, I want to actually get news stories circling that the actual destruction that's coming on the spaceport is as a result of Moonicorn, and that it was actually I was acting on their orders.
Oh, that's wonderful. Roll command.
And that would be a 12.
Oh, God, y'all are rolling good.
Yeah, tell me about it. It helps only having one stat.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds like it's going to work. I mean, that's as this begins to get broadcast around, we find out what happens. So we leave this kind of quiet discussion to a much more heated, convoluted, crazy discussion going on above a pit of hyper energy.
Hi.
So we had basically, this discussion of these people are innocent, they're going to die, and I could get it for you. Why didn't you just ask me, sort of thing? And then you'd say, oh, yeah, well, let me go destroy this. So what are you doing, Frantic, as you see that, kind of oozing out of your wire is Spiral, and looks to be heading back down to complete this.
Oh, God. Oh. Well, the opposite of Spiral's heart grew 10 times, 10 sizes that day probably did happen. No, that's not for me to decide. Oh my god. I am basically going to do what I. So he. So
Would you
to
like to
clarify,
maybe do a survey of a dangerous area?
yeah, no, I just want to clarify. He is gonna just keep doing it. He's just gonna go ahead and do it because I heard destroy the portal, and I'm not.
Yeah. Basically, the response you're getting from him is that, like, no, he doesn't particularly personally want to be doing this, but he was told to do it, and he can't not do it. So, unless you
God.
come up with some other way.
I think in the panic, I am just gonna. Oh wait, no, you slipped through my grappling hook, so you're gonna do that again. I am gonna jump after you, and basically, hopefully, land on you, so you can break my fall.
All right. I don't think I'm even going to have you roll. I think that we get that. I think we could just go straight with you, landing and landing on Spiral in such a way that Spiral hasn't gotten to the stuff, and y'all kind of in a little bit of a tangle as you drop to the bottom.
I think in that moment, my satchel opens up and the crystal falls out in its glory, I guess.
As it drops out, Spiral, you see this crystal, and inside of it, there is this energy sort of moving. But now that you can see it, you hear the words. The speaker's power is in this stone.
What is that? Like it's been this inexorable sort of thing forward, and he just stops and turns and is not moving now.
It's something Corazon wanted to give to you. Something they thought you deserve. But I'm going to stand between Spiral and the crystal. But I don't think they think the same. They saw you like this.
Corazon. My friend Corazon, he used that word. That is the voice.
Corazon. Look, there's another way, Spiral. You don't need to do this. Look, and pick up the crystal. This is proof that there's another way. You don't have to go ahead with whatever it is you're being told to do. It's not that hard a decision to make. Just
is not a decision. They hold a piece of me.
But I can take that piece back. I know I can do it. If just, put your trust on me.
Above you, you hear those fighters shoot, and the whole facility is sort of rocked as they smash into the top side of that transport above you. As they do their strafing run, the whole place is sort of shaking a little. As the ships go by, you figure doing a cool loop-de-loop to come back and do it again.
You seem upset, Frantic. It is very simple. While I am here, I must do as they said. You wish me not to do the thing. I should be somewhere else.
Sorry, the internet broke up. Actually,
Oh.
sorry.
Dramatic moment.
Basically, he's like, I don't have any control as long as we're here. But if you take me somewhere else, I won't be so overwhelming, probably. Something else, I think you could definitely try and steal space on him.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. When you steal something that takes up space, and there's a chance you might get caught. So can I just steal him?
You certainly can try.
I'm open to it.
Yeah.
All right. So what? As you hear Spiral, and it was. I am commanded to do this thing while I am here. I should not be here, sort of thing. What do you react? What do you do?
I want to see how this roll works first. Then this will inform kind of like what I'm doing, because I think. And okay, so that's oh, go on.
And at this point, I think my agents are starting to actually move on the building as well to find out what's going on.
Oh,
so as your commodity to me, I'm going to actually try and interfere.
Oh, yeah. So that'll be a -1 to your roll.
-2.
-2.
Ooh.
Which is just enough to bring it down.
I would try to help on that.
Okay.
All right. So you wish to...
I have to roll my helper interfere. But I have 2 with frantic, or I have 1 with frantic, I think, actually. Yes, I have 1 with frantic.
Ooh.
But I rolled a 12, so that's 13.
Gosh, y'all are rolling so good.
Okay,
So
you got a -1 total.
And you get... Okay, yeah.
Okay, so I rolled a... Actually, what did I roll? 5, 6, 7... I rolled an 8. So I got a 7.
Correct.
So if not for that help.
That's wonderful. All right. So with a 7 to 9, you take it, but it makes people suspicious or costs you. The GM says what?
So, and
why don't you describe kind of the action you're taking to grab him? I'll mention we have all of this hyperspace energy flowing around us, but what does it look like as you grab him to take him away?
Okay, so when I took this playbook, I didn't know I could literally steal time if I got a 10+, and the whole thief of space and time thing was actually a bit more metaphysical than I expected. So I think because I'm in proximity to this crystal, this ability to just suddenly fold space just kind of comes across, and I was just gonna shoot him with a grappling hook and literally take him with me. But I think what happens is the crystal kind of has resonated with me, and this folding. I've somehow managed to fold space within my satchel, so that when I shoot him with a grappling hook and drags Spiral with me, I think it's not so much they shrink, but when they get close to the satchel, they can suddenly fit in the satchel, and it's very much why did I picked the sonic screwdriver? Of course, the satchel is now bigger in the inside. That's what happens when you put a crystal in there all this time. So I think, suddenly when I grabbed Spiral, I was just expecting to take him on my shoulders, but no, they're suddenly in my satchel. and And I'm like, I look in the satchel. Oh, there you are.
I don't feel comfortable with this new dimension.
Would you feel more comfortable if I put the crystal next to you?
That is slightly comforting, yes, but please, can we move?
Yeah, okay, we'll move.
And so, as you grab him, we're hitting the end of time. So if we don't mind, I'm going to hard frame us out of this one. As you've grabbed and put Spiral in there, and you're, pulling, there's something to you, something special that makes you this, thief of space and time. And with this interdimensional pocket, and we've got the gym, we've got Spiral in there. This is that time that the energy of the crystal inside of here inside the control room sort of does a flare. And woof, you are engulfed in the energy of it and pulled into hyperspace. Without a ship, you go flinging through hyperspace, it glistening, holding this bag, flying through. But the turbulence of it, the energy's flowing. The bag escapes your grip. You see it pass out of the hyperspace tunnel as you are shooting through hyperspace. And that, I think, I'm going to give one last bit of this. It's as you disappear is when the interceptors fire, blasting into the control room. We see explosion, but not like, a big hyperspace sinkhole that destroys the facility and half the continent. And some explosions as that scene, we sort of pull back from the interceptors firing down. Fade scene. And we see kind of this staticky image on a screen. For all planets and everyone in the galaxy, hello, this is your 6 o'clock news. We are currently using only transponders as we no longer have the crystals to be used in our transmission. So we're not entirely sure when you'll be receiving this. Word is, and you get a stream of news of currently Imperial credits are dropping in value at an enormous rate. The Empire is saying that it will shore up the credits very shortly and that no one should be concerned. In other news, the facilities on... not Orange. What was our planet?
We didn't name it, I don't think.
All right. I'm going to call it Giddy Prime. The transport facilities on Giddy Prime have been destroyed, and the hyperlanes linking it have been cut. Ships in hyperspace found themselves unable to enter. However, rumors from the transponder are showing that this was an action dictated by Coruscant. Did we have a last name? SpaceWorm. What is your last name?
We both have Zon as the last syllable of our name. Should we actually have that as the family name?
Oh, I like that. Corazon of the House Zon seems to be making some sort of play to reestablish the Imperial throne. Seen here in this video, intercepted, and we see that picture of SpaceWorm and Cora there together. It seems that this is a great plan. The council, or a great plan to usurp the council. Council members have declared both of them outlaws. Please, stay tuned. Is the flan you've been eating not real flan? The answer may surprise you. And that's where we'll end our Space War versus Unicorn session. We're going to miss you next week, Leandro, but you will be back for the finale. Go ahead, everybody, since this is our center points middle session, everyone will get to pick up an advancement, a special move to add to your suite. And when we come next time, we'll be having, I'm pretty sure it's Mikhail joining us, which is awesome. Love him. If it's not him, whoever it is, I'm sure I love them too. I know it's somebody I know, so I'm pretty sure I love them.
Well, I think just to throw it out there, I think interestingly, given the whole like interdimensional tote bag and everything that just happened with the crystal, the move I was planning on, the move I'm definitely taking now, is the Secret Ways, which is I can pass through the other world to get anywhere in the galaxy. I think this has changed and awoken something in Spiral too.
Neat. All right. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed it. We're right here at time, so I don't think I'm going to do a Roses, Thorns, Wishes, any of that sort of stuff. I will make sure to post up the session so that, Leandro, if you want to catch next session, I'll definitely have it up before you come back so you can check it out if you want to. If not, when you get back, we'll let you know what happened. And we'll miss you, like I say, but next time, we have a lot on the plate, don't we? The Empire seems to be collapsing. We have Space Worm and Moonicorns facing off in a tight situation. We have Spiral having been tossed in a bag out of the hyperlanes with the Stone of Destruction, which was apparently given by the beings of hyperspace. So, weird things afoot. Hope y'all had a good time. I had a blast. So, see all of y'all next week, except you, Leandro. Have a wonderful week off, and we'll see you in 2. I'm going to stop the broadcast now, but folks, if you'd like to watch this or others, I have stuff on YouTube. If you don't watch many of them, watch more!